Like having your oven at ground level and open.
As the temperatures drop, many of you might think it'd be nice to warm up the house with a gas fireplace. But warmth and ambiance can quickly turn to terror. This morning, we share the story of one family scarred thanks to the flicker of fire.
Play peekaboo.
1 month ago,
Where'd you go? Boo. Boo.
This was the norm for the Liedtke family.
Where's Christian? Peekaboo.
They had no idea how quickly their life would change.
So that almost a whole hour, he was screaming, longest hour of my life.
Jennifer Liedtke says the day it happened is burned in her mind.
And all of a sudden we got a phone call from my husband that Christian had gotten burned, and we were like, well, how bad is it? And he said, well, it's not good.
October 4th, Jennifer was away at a nearby bridal shower, and several family members were watching the then 11-month-old Christian, a typical busy toddler. But in the blink of an eye, he made his way to the glass-fronted gas fireplace.
Yeah, there's your boo-boo.
His whole entire palm was a giant blister, and then he had blisters on each of his 5 fingers. Immediately we knew that we had to go somewhere.
They first went to urgent care, then to St. Luke's ER, but Christian's burns were deep and painful. They brought him here to the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics burn unit, where specialists say they see this type of injury in the youngest of patients all too often.
Certainly, it's horrifying to see these injuries in your children, and they happen in a split second.
Dr. Lucy Wibbenmeyer is a burn specialist at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics, which just finished a 17 burn center study looking at gas fireplace-related injuries in children.
And we saw about 400 injuries over a 5-year period at those centers. And again, that's only a quarter of the burn centers that specialize in treating kids.
So the numbers would actually probably be way higher.
Higher, way higher.
Doctors say anyone who touches the glass might get third-degree burns in as little as 1 second.
At 150 degrees, 1 second exposure can cause a full-thickness wound. These fireplaces get 2.5 times that temperature, and some can reach up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was an open wound. There was no skin there whatsoever.
Several families filed suit against manufacturers after their children suffered burns. The Fireplace Industries Organization, the Hearth Patio and Barbecue Association responded.
Our organization, HPBA, as a group decided to go in and make these fireplaces safer for families and their children.
And is enacting new national fireplace safety requirements as of 2015.
If a fireplace produces 172 degrees of heat or more, it needs a safety barrier, needs to be standard as of January.
But retailers can still sell the gas fireplaces made before the deadline, and thousands of homes in eastern Iowa and around the country already have the inserts installed. Dr. Wibbenmeyer says parents and anyone around young children should be on alert.
Anyone who has a glass-fronted gas fireplace, I highly recommend that they get a protective screen.
Colony Heating's PJ Kalb says he knows the flicker of fire can draw tots in.
They're intrigued by it. They don't realize how hot it is until they get there and touch it.
He adds there are a number of different options to protect your family now.
So that's the screen?
That's the screen. And this would be similar to just a standing type screen that just mounts in front that keeps the little ones away.
Oh, you're waving bye-bye.
Little Christian is healing up following doctor's orders.
About 10% are going to have surgery, and about 2/3 of those patients are going to also need to have some sort of therapy, like stretching, as the wound heals.
Mom is making sure the new skin grows back correctly.
Every day, 6 times a day, we were doing stretches.
And doctors say as the temperature drops, the number of fireplace injuries will probably heat up.
No one knows how dangerous these are.
Now, there are some things that you can do to protect your family and loved ones. First up, always supervise children near gas fireplaces and inserts. It's also a good idea to make sure that your family and visitors are aware that the glass heats up fast and it stays hot. That cool down does take some time. Some of these fireplaces can remain hot for an hour or more. And finally, buy a barrier. Check your hardware or local big box store or even online. We have posted more information about the new regulations and the fireplace barriers with this story on KCRG.com.